country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Dear America. We got a lot of stuff to get into, as always. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you hit like, make sure that you hit share. Let's blow that chat up right now with a few American flags, because we got a lot of good news to report on. Got a full house today, and we are going to have a little fun. We love you, Dear America family. You are the guys that make this thing possible, and we are happy that you are a part of it. So blow that chat up. Let me see those American flags. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. We are 2 weeks into a Donald Trump presidency. Mexico has caved. Panama has caved. Colombia has caved. Who else? Venezuela has caved. Canada caved. Mass deportations. Hostages have come home. DEI programs, they've ended. Bureaucracy's been slashed. FBI purges are underway. USAID funding has been canceled. Gender ideology gone. Doge has already saved billions of dollars for the American taxpayer. 51 intel agents have lost their clearance. Border crossings have dropped by 93%. And the reservoirs in California are filling back up, just to name a few developments. This is exciting stuff, and we're going to talk about so many things today that you can be happy about and a proud American. Blow that chat up with those American flags. But without further ado, please welcome to the program the man you love to look at and listen to, because he's cute. You just want to put him in your pocket. Have no fear. Producer Royce is here. Look at you. Does that make? Look at you. Are you blushing? Are you blushing?
Stop!
Look at
how cute he is.
Got a little blush going on.
All right, back to Chad.
What an awkward.
So far, he's avoided
Threw
ice.
me off, dude.
So far, he has avoided ice. Mexican Tony is here.
I don't blush when everybody compliments me because I know I'm good looking, so I just accept it. So, good morning, everybody.
So Tony, my mother on my show, on the Chad Prather show, my mother called me one day and she said, Royce just has the most dreamy eyes. And I was like, reel it in, Mom.
Yeah,
Reel it in.
Royce is a good-looking guy, man. Yeah,
he is.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
Put him in my pocket. And of course, everybody's favorite disclaimer notice. Your one and only favorite redneck. He is top priority. Put a banner over his mouth that says censored. Hot Seat Todd is here.
Good morning, everybody. I hope this wonderful Tuesday morning finds you all doing well.
Nobody knows what you said because of the banjo music.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have to say it again.
I love you all. There you go. We'll just keep it short and sweet.
You know what? When you come out of banjo music with "I love you all," it could be a little bit nerve-wracking.
Little misinterpretation
right
there,
okay.
possibly. Little.
And then from an Airbnb that no one can ever find because it's in an undisclosed location, our fearless leader Graham Allen is in the house. What's up, GA?
Somebody yesterday told me to stop clapping. No.
The key, Graham, is don't ever tell him what to do.
Correct.
Yes.
Hey, let's do this right now. The chat needs to wake up. If you are so not tired of winning, I want to see a W. That's it. Blow up in the chat. I want us to break the servers right now because Canada and Mexico, a bunch of limp-wristed floppy noodles that folded in less than 72 hours. I want to see W's blow up in the chat. Let's go. And if you got a problem with me clapping, I got the coach clap because we're dominating this freaking thing, baby. They ain't got that. They can't play with us. They got, look, go. I want W's in the chat. Let's do this thing. Get on my level, chat. Let's go. Woo! We got things to talk about, baby. We got losers in other countries.
Speaking of the trade war, I just thought of a shirt. I survived the trade war, 3 February to 3 February.
Yeah, exactly. Can I say that when it cut to Royce, he looked like that movie Smile. You know what I'm talking about? Like he looked like he was frozen.
He was about to kick. Yes. Oh,
He looked like he was caught.
And Todd looks like a former cocaine dealer that's now preaching in prisons. The way that
Graham
he's
comes back to
dressing
the show and he's just
right
making fun of all of us.
Dogging
What is
everybody.
going on? Hey,
I don't
Tony,
know what this-
you got on Tony?
Tony looks like he's teaching Spanish now at a vocational college.
Thank you. I
From a
appreciate
golf
it.
Do Chad now.
Yeah, do
Chad just looks like Chad. There's no
right.
joke.
Pretty much
Yeah,
it.
he looks like
That's
Chad.
hilarious.
Anyway, but yeah, I don't know what this new look that Todd's going for is, but it looks like he's a former like top cartel member that is now trying to preach the gospel in prisons. Like
He looks like he needs to be deported a little bit.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, somebody said the Patriot hammer clap.
I saw
I got
that.
a good coach on the sideline, like clap, like like I got a good clap. All right, that sounded terrible. I have a good. You got it. Let's go. All right, so we got a big show for you guys today. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that share button. Are we live everywhere today?
We live, brother.
Okay,
Yeah,
Facebook, you crapped the bed yesterday because it didn't work. So if you're watching on Facebook, you need to hit that like button, hit that share button, and comment that W for winning in the comment section right now.
It's like 1 in 10 live streams. Facebook just
Facebook
doesn't
just
work.
is like forget you guys. But either way, all right, we got a big show today. But before we get into all that, we got to get into our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. My entire house. Back in South Carolina, like norovirus is going everywhere. I had the flu here in DC just last week. And I'll tell you this, I love the fact that I've got amoxicillin, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, anti-nausea medication, everything at my disposal, along with Alyssa and the kids, because we have the wellness company kits. This is not a gimmick. We actually do have it at our disposal at any time. They're going to try to mess us up. If you believe they're going to try to lock us down again, comment yes or no in the comment section right now. But I believe that they're going to try to do everything they can to mess up Trump's booming economy and booming wins across the board. But the only way that you cannot comply is to be prepared. So please go to twc.health/Graham right now. Promo code Graham's going to save you $30 plus free shipping. Everybody asks us all the time, how can we support you guys? Well, you can support us by preparing your family by going to twc.health/Graham. Promo code Graham's going to save you $30 plus free shipping. Go get your contagion kits, your medical emergency kit, your first aid, your travel emergency kit, and all of the above. I think they've even got a radiation kit now. Go to twc.health/Graham. twc.health/Graham, promo code Graham. All right, how about we get into the show? Chad, take it, because I'm flying blind.
Let's go ahead with a little CLC. You know, there's some people who are just trying to get some attention. Some people are actually unhinged, and they like to film themselves on camera.
Let's get CLC in the chat. Let's go.
Let's start it off with some cry libs cry. Royce, put up this unhinged
Don't
dude.
play it. Don't play it till they do it, Royce. We need CLC
You gotta
blowing
beg
up
for
in
it.
the
Look at
chat
his eyes.
right now.
Oh.
Just look at the eyes before we even play this. Let's get some cry libs cry.
Gosh.
CLC blowing up in the chat right
Beg
now.
for it.
Mental health is a real thing, and it's always in the eyes. You can always see it in the eyes. And this right here, if there was ever a person in real life that could become the Joker, I think this guy might be it. All right, let's play it. Cry Lips Cry. Brace your ear holes.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm okay.
Gay.
I'm okay.
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. See, Royce, that's what you look like when you smiled.
Limp-wristed.
Doesn't that guy look like one of the
wait a
Hanson
second.
brothers? I'm expecting this
I did
guy
not
to
look
come out
like
and
that when I
sing
smiled.
Bop.
Can you fast forward it where his mouth is like wide open when he's
Yes.
screaming? No. Go back. Right there. That is a legit like some people do these things and you're like, I wonder if they were just doing that for attention. You can see the
Cave.
you can
pain,
see,
the
you
pain.
can dude. This dude is like legit mad. Freaking Canada, Trump tariffs works, and this dude is like losing his freaking mind over this. Actually, I think this is just about Trump in general, but these people These people are walking around in public right now. He's driving a car. He has a license. This lunatic is out there just around your kids. Like, who knows who knows how many speed bumps this guy thought he hit.
No, this
He
this
looks
dude's
like
mom,
a sore loser.
This mom's dude unplugged the Xbox. That's what happened.
Dude,
I mean,
that
who
is-
That's what
films
happened.
themselves and puts this up there.
Dude.
I think if you listen, there's a movement of filming yourself crying, and Selena Gomez is not the first one to do it. I think that
Dude,
itself,
this is rage crying.
if you are physically able to put your phone up and hit record and then go, like, you should be put into a mental hospital.
Hey, can we
Like
go
that-
to where he smiles? Can we go? Ladies that are single in the chat. How many single ladies we got? Comment yes or no in the chat if you're single. I'm curious if you're happy that this
Oh, my
that is
Lord.
what you're working with in the dating pool, ladies. How do you feel?
Yes.
How do you feel
Dads.
about this?
Dads, how do you feel about your
Yellow teeth,
daughters?
too.
Nice.
I just, we wonder why the population is in decline. Well, here you go.
Ding, ding,
This is all you got right here,
Nice.
ladies. Do you
Graham,
find this
bro.
attractive? Do you
Graham, what
find
do
this
you
attractive?
do if Anna Grace brings that home?
There'd be a body missing pretty quick. No, look here, man. Look, Anna Grace, she's 11, but she already knows. She already knows. Like, don't
She would
bring
punch that dude in the throat.
Don't bring some useless, worthless, no job person into the house. Do not do it, because I don't know exactly what I would do, but I've been told that all of my kids' friends, etc., are all like scared of me, which it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit.
But you gotta kind of like that a little.
Apparently, I look more intimidating than I think I do to children. Like, I don't look intimidating to adult men, but to children, I look very intimidating. So I hope I can carry that over into the dating world, because I quite literally know people that kill people for a living. You know what I mean? Like, I quite literally do. Rob O'Neill shot bin Laden. I got him on speed dial. Do not mess with me, with my dog. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so anyway, all right, we got to move on. We got
We got more
on.
CLC. We're not done
Is
with the
that,
CLC.
we got more CLCs. I
more
forgot about
CLC.
that.
Speaking
All
of
right,
the
here
girls,
we go.
let's see if the girls like this trend right here. Basically, as long as Trump is there's a red lipstick movement. As long as Trump is in office, apparently you're going to protest by wearing red lipstick.
Hold on, before you play it, go with me here. The stepmom in Sleepy Hollow, right?
Yes.
The stepmother
Yes,
in Sleepy Hollow.
100%.
This chick is 100%
Yes.
that. That's
Oh
like
my God.
summons the horseman in the
Yes,
movie. All right, play it. Let's go.
CLC. So bold, so brave.
That looks like a shark.
What are we doing?
Red lipstick. She's putting on red lipstick.
For what?
She's doing it for the gram. The Instagram. This is their protest.
For that music.
So we're gonna
whatever.
wear red lipstick every day until Trump's out of office. That's your comeback.
They should have used like purple or something. Or
Well,
blue.
Yeah.
what-
Done blue. They should have done
But-
blue.
But what's
Blue.
the, I mean,
Instead
women
they do
wear
the Marilyn Monroe.
But women wear red lipstick. I don't understand
Exactly.
Well, here's the stupid part about it is you're going to
call
see
to power
pictures
is.
of normal women like Kendra, Alyssa, Jesse wearing red lipstick in photos and stuff. See, it's a real thing. It's a movement. They're retarded.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you remember back when Trump won, there was, I forget the name.
But
of the
what
movement.
does it
They were
mean?
Shaving their heads
Yeah.
and being off limits.
That
I
was to
think they got
refuse to
tired.
have. That was to refuse to have sex. Is what that was. What is the
yes.
the calling card of the red lipstick? Is it like Handmaid's Tales? Like instead of the
I've
got
got a
dress,
better one. How
they
about
got
just
red lipstick.
I've got a better idea. How about just a cyanide pill? Be a real protester.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know what we're
And
going to do?
there's the disclaimer right there. We are not in any way, shape, form, or fashion at the Dear America Studios claiming that you should in any way do anything that's harmful to you, your family, or anyone in
There.
any way. Dadgummit, Todd.
It's a real protest. When the pink hats don't work, when the shaving your head doesn't work, when the sex strike doesn't work, you know what let's do? Let's go to Ulta and beautify ourselves with some extra red lipstick.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is, right
Look at
there.
that clown. Hey, but we're still not done with the CLC. Keep blowing up the chat with CLC. We got more.
Yeah,
we
well,
have got more.
It's a ways to go this morning. Let's go.
I
The
love
Trump
this one.
star on Hollywood Boulevard Graham, you and I have stood there together right there in that spot. We've
right
been
there, yeah. And it's dirty as crap, man.
It's
It
nasty.
was the biggest letdown ever. First time at Hollywood Boulevard, I was actually with Chad, and it's the dirtiest, nastiest place. I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal. Before we watch this is the third star for Donald Trump. Like they've already destroyed 2 of them. And so, all right, here we go. Play it.
So brave and bold. They're putting the word blows under Donald Trump's name.
Where are the police?
I'd have more respect if he just would have put your mom on there.
Well, my thing is, if Donald Trump is such a womanizer and all those kind of things, and obviously we've proven that he doesn't blow, right?
Yeah, we have. But again, I don't understand. I don't understand the protest. I don't understand.
That the red lipstick and the green glitter paint. I don't get that.
I don't get. Donald Trump blows. I think that's probably the nicest own he's had in a long time. Donald Trump blows.
I mean,
if you really want to have a set of balls, get a sledgehammer and just bust it.
They've already done
They've
that.
done
They've
that.
already done it,
man.
They've
That's
already
been
done it.
done.
That's what I
Old
said.
news.
This is the third star. This is dude. They just need to make Donald Trump needs to invest in his own star. That's like legit diamond, and just put it in there and make that sucker almost impossible to go against. You know what I mean? Like just freaking
These people are just being counterproductive because they're just drawing more attention to Donald Trump. I mean, the destruction they're doing, they're just going to replace a star and put another one in there. And the more they keep replacing it, they're just going to keep on doing it. So they're just drawing more attention to Donald Trump. So whatever, idiots.
If I was Donald Trump because I was the 45th and the 47th president of the United States, I would say, hey, I think it's time to make my star the size of 4 stars. That's what I think. I think it's time.
And what if Donald Trump just bought the whole block of Hollywood Boulevard? It's like, tariffs on Hollywood.
50 stars.
Yeah, and just put all of them were Donald Trump stars.
Yeah, people are losing their minds. It's only 2
losing their
weeks.
minds.
This is 2 weeks in. People are losing their minds. I think old do buddy Joker's kid that we had on earlier. I think that's the new lady with the vest on. Like no, I think that. Oh my gosh. Dude,
Man,
that is
creepy.
the creepiest thing I've ever seen. You know what's probably even worse? This dude's probably like a kindergarten teacher or something like that. Like, look at that. Look. You can't teach that in acting school.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Meatloaf.
Nice
All right, we got to
uvula,
keep
bro.
going. We got to keep
Collins.
going.
Susan Collins.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
What a
remember
flip-flop.
yesterday we talked about you got to keep the pressure on. Yesterday, Susan Collins announces that she is going to back Tulsi Gabbard for Department of National for Director of National Intelligence. Can we get a W in the chat for winning? Ladies and gentlemen, I want W's to break the chat right now because this is what happens when you keep the pressure campaign on. Now, she already crapped the bed with some other votes like Pete Hegseth, but somebody finally got a hold of this chick and was like, listen here, do you want to see your family again? Like do you want, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, all right, she says, quote, after extensive consideration of her nomination, I will support Tulsi Gabbard to be the Director of National Intelligence as one of the principal authors of the Intelligence Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act of 2004. This chick has been there since 2004. That established this coordinating position. I understand the critical role the DNI plays in the intelligence community. The office of the Director of National Intelligence, however, has become far larger than it was designed to be, and Ms. Gabbard shares my vision of returning the agency to its intended size. In response to my questions during our discussion in my office and at the open hearing, as well as through her explanation at the closed hearing before the Senate Intelligence Committee, Ms. Gabbard addressed my concerns regarding her views on Edward Snowden. I look forward to working with Ms. Gabbard to strengthen our national security. That's you, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourselves a round of applause.
That's it.
This chick don't mean nothing that she just said. This was a pressure campaign for her to do her dang job. There you go. Welcome to Primary City, population U. I even tweeted out today, confirm, they've got the committee votes today for Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., which means the committees that they had the hearings in front of will vote on whether or not to take them to the actual Senate floor for a vote. I put today, we still have to put the pressure on these people. Confirm RFK, confirm Tulsi Gabbard, confirm Kash Patel, or face a primary. Like we're not playing games. Donald Trump's not playing games with these other countries. The American people are no longer playing games with our representatives and our senators, and or our governors either, or our state reps or our state representatives. Like we're done. You do what the crap we tell you to do, or you're out of there. We are done playing games. You work for us, not the other way around. We are your freaking boss. And when are you allowed to go in and tell your boss, you know what, I hear what you have to say, but I know better than you, and I'm going to do it this way. When are you allowed to do that in any other place ever? Never is the question. I mean, you can, but then it's immediately followed by a freaking pink slip, and we'll see you later. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. But that's what we need to do. These people, the pressure campaigns need to continue. And this was
and you
a
know
huge
what's
win.
funny? You know what's funny, Graham, is these people on the other side, they never learn. Like the fact we were talking about it earlier. I'm so thankful that Donald Trump was not put in office in 2020, because now we have a whole new Donald Trump and we have a whole new cabinet. We have J.D. Vance that proves what an empty suit Mike Pence was. When they go after these people, once they finally get into these cabinet positions, they're going to do their job that much harder. They're going to do their job with that much more motivation. These people don't learn from the past, man. When
Look
you
at the
oppose these
qualifications.
people,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, just when you oppose them like this, you're just further motivating them to really come after you.
Well, look at the preparedness of, just take Sean Duffy, for example. He's been sworn in for 12 hours and there's freaking 2 plane crashes and he's on the ground immediately. Pete Hegseth on the ground immediately, dealing with the Black Hawk crash.
Him and Tom Homan are walking around the border right now.
Yesterday, he's at the border meeting the active duty troops that are down there at the border. Can we just have some American flags? Kristi Noem is doing ice raids. Now, nobody believes that Kristi Noem is actually kicking indoors, but it's the fact that she's out
so
there
awesome.
4:30 a.m. in the morning on these ice raids to show that they're there. The real leadership and real competency. In the first 2 weeks, it's such a sharp contrast between what we've dealt with for the past 4 years. If you believe that God had his hand, and hindsight's always 2020, ironically, if you believe that 2020 happened exactly the way it was supposed to, just keep the American flags going, because I do. Now that we look back, 2020 sucked. It hurt all of us. But if you look at now, you look at the people that are getting involved now. Just last night, Sean Parnell's going to join the Pentagon. Joe Kent's going to join the Department of Counterterrorism. All of these war fighters are coming in. These people wouldn't have been given a second look in 2020. And now you've got real people coming in to affect real change. It's a very powerful thing, and obviously God had his hand in it.
That is a great
Absolutely.
point. That is a great point. Like you said, Chad, and you, Graham. I mean, in 2020, they stole the election, but, their actions had a reaction. And look at everything that's happening now, all the changes that they're doing there, all the patriots coming into the cabinet is just, it's unreal, what's going on in the administration right now.
Yeah, the movement wouldn't be 50% of what it is now if Trump had won in 2020. Everything that they did to him in between that time really exposed, I think, what we were fighting against. Actually, like, we had an idea, but then we saw what they did to the guy who was trying to take him down, and it riled us up. So I agree with you, man. 2020.
Well, and on top of
had to
that, but it's
happen.
like the if you've seen the movie The A-Team, it's like that colonel. He's like, if you give me an hour, I'm good. If you give me 2 hours, I'm great. If you give me X amount of time more than that, I'm unbeatable. They just gave Trump 4 years to plan this step by step, hour by hour, order by order, day by day, and that's why you're seeing all of this stuff go down as quickly as he's done. He's done more in the first 2 weeks than Biden did in 4 years.
Killing it. Hey, Graham, let's talk about our friends over at Birch Gold.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, we've talked about this, trade wars, all the above. You're going to see some slight pain, okay? Canada and Mexico have folded. We're going to get into that in a minute, but it's only a 30-day pause. We as Americans have to be willing to deal with a little bit of butt pain to have a long-term solution to honestly being bent over for decades at this point by so many countries treating us unfairly and wrong. The best way for you to protect your family is to protect your money as best as you possibly can. Also, a lot of you ask us all the time, how can we support you in the show? You can support us by supporting the sponsors that support us. All Birch Gold is asking you to do is simply text the word Graham. That's GRAHAM to 989898 right now. You can literally do it while you're watching this show. You don't even have to stop. They're going to call you. They're going to send you a free information kit, 25 pages actually, on how gold, silver, and precious metals can protect your money against an unstable world to make sure that you and your family are protected. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. But free information is vital information. So what do you have to lose? And you're actually supporting this show to keep this show on air to bring the truth to you guys. So please, right now, text the word Graham, that's GRAHAM, to 989898 right now.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Oh my
Right.
gosh, do it.
What's next? I'm blind over here.
Trump's still after it on Canada being the 51st, man. You know, I thought it was funny, and I put it on X yesterday. It kind of blew up pretty viral, where it was talking about, all these celebrities that said, well, if Trump gets elected, we're just going to move to Canada. And then Trump was like, well, welcome to the 51st state.
Welcome to the 51st state. All right, but here's the thing. So we're going to talk about the
skipped a
trade
couple
stuff.
things. So
Well, what did we skip?
Do you wanna,
No, do it. Drive the
Okay,
ship.
well,
Let's go. I can't see.
All right, I'll drive it. That's fine. Joe Biden wants to be in Hollywood.
Yes. Yes. I
Joe
forgot
Biden.
about that.
Oh,
Good old Joe.
Yes.
Good
I
old Joe
jumped
wants
ahead.
to be
We
a
are,
Hollywood
you're right.
movie star.
You're right, Royce. I jumped ahead. I got excited about Canada.
Explain
Okay,
this to me. I don't
So
understand.
this agency, Joe Biden, I read this article. He just signed with this agency that does Hollywood movies and stuff like that. It's the same agency that represents Obama. So apparently they're going to remake the movie Cocoon, or he's going to take the role in Coming to America 3 of the old white guy in the barbershop.
What is that,
No,
Velvet?
Come on.
I'm telling you, you're going to see Joe Biden in a Netflix
They're
special.
gonna
Write it down.
it's gonna be a documentary. They're gonna
Yes.
film him for like 12 hours, and they're gonna turn it into an 8-piece documentary, and he's going to die
Yes.
before the documentary releases.
Weekend at Biden's.
Correct. All right, that's great. Get it the crap out of here. Nobody
go
cares.
after it.
Next, I know Graham's excited about this one.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Donald Trump announces that he plans to sign an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. If you think that this is a huge win for America, I want some American flags in the chat right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is gigantic. The Department of Education is a cancer among our nation. It is an infected among our children, and everything about the Department of Education is evil. Every aspect. Now, before you teachers or people, Tony, who have children with teachers, I'm not talking about the teachers. I'm talking about the system of which the teachers are forced and handcuffed to operate within. It is evil. It is an indoctrinating, DEI, CRT, sexualized perversion to our children. And I hate to break it to you, our children are getting dumber. They're not getting smarter.
Yes, they are.
Okay, the Department of Education needs to be burned to the freaking ground. In my opinion, I think you need to give it back to the states, to where the
100%.
parents and the residents of that state have absolute control over what their kids are being taught. They have oversight. They're able to hold people accountable. Get rid of the Department of Education. I hope this is true. Washington Post is reporting it, and I'm hearing rumors inside the rumor mill as well that this is happening. I'm also telling you, Trump just signed an executive order yesterday to create a sovereign wealth fund, all this other stuff. All of the signs are pointing to we're at minimum going to get a flat tax for IRS, or Trump is getting ready to abolish this freaking thing. We are winning. This is a tear it all down and bring it back up from the ground up the right way. This is a major move. I support it 100%. If you support it, keep those American flags in the
I have a
chat.
question before you move on here, though. My only concern with this is it's great. It's a great idea to take it back to the states. You know, in the state where we're at, South Carolina, for me, for instance, it's a conservative state, great, conservative values. You go to the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington, they're very liberal over there, so they're going to be teaching the kids over there, on that side of the country way different than they are over here. That's my only concern. I mean,
And
there's
that's
not
great.
going to be like a...
That's great. Like that's how it's on. I know this sucks,
Yeah.
Tony, but that's how it's supposed to work because as it stands right now, you've got the federal Department of Education that's making everybody do it. And like I've said this before, I love this. Tear this whole thing to pieces and never bring it back because what is taught in California is not going to work here in Mississippi. What's taught in South Carolina is not going to work in Mississippi. Every state's different. We all have different jobs and different career paths in various states, and that's why it all needs to be state driven. Period.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I
people-
agree with Tony.
Go
I
ahead.
agree with Tony that it could potentially cause an issue because this is the kind of stuff that's going to be happening all over California, where the DEI teachers are still going to be hired and shoving LGBTQ down your kid's throat.
Then move.
And that's just not going to
Yeah.
happen in certain states. So I think that across the board, there should be some sort of standard as to like what morals can be taught.
Well,
but not exactly
Trump's
curriculum.
already done that. You can't teach critical race theory, woke ideology's gone, all this other kind of stuff.
And that's across the board, yeah.
It's across the board. But listen to me. This is where people get really mad at me. But it's something I feel very passionately about. If you live in a crap state, what is more important than your children? Sell the boat, sell the house, sell the cars, freaking move. Get out of there. Oh, but Graham, I can't. Yes, you can. You can do anything you want if you really, truly believe in it. There is nothing that stops you from doing what you actually believe you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
I have no sympathy, no nothing, and everybody gets mad at me. Well, Graham, it's easy for you to say da 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 da. I left everything to create this. I went into debt. I spelled credit cash. I burned the ships because I believed in this stuff. So I have no sympathy whatsoever. When it comes to your children, when it comes to what's happening, if you live in a crap state, that's why I think it should go back to the states because it gives you the ultimate power and authority. You can punish your state by getting the crap out of there. And I don't, man. I know some people get pissed when I say that, but I don't care. It's what I truly believe. I'm not here for your feelings. I'm here to tell you what I truly believe you need to hear. If you're in a crap state, if you're in a bad state that's going to continue to teach your kids crap garbage, you can't afford private school or homeschool or hybrid school or anything like that, then sell the cars, sell the boats, sell the house, get the crap out of there.
And let me know if I'm mistaken, but that's kind of how America was intended to be originally, which is where the states run themselves and the government doesn't get involved.
No. The states are supposed to run themselves, and it's supposed to be the states' rights. I mean, the state constitutions were written long before the U.S. Constitution, and we should go back to that foundation. The Constitution of the United States was written on the basis of what the states' constitutions already said. That's why you don't have a mention of God in the U.S. Constitution, because the foundations of God were already built in the state constitutions. So when you take things like education, that was done by the church, it was done by the family, it was not done by the state or the federal government. So this whole idea, and I agree completely with Graham, these people who want to have an excuse, you want to I remind everybody that, first of all, I know where I'm coming from. I made $30,000 a year with 4 children. We homeschooled with one single income. We created a life around educating our children, and that's what's more important. But now we've got a system out there that demands that 2 people in the household go out and earn an income so that the federal government can tax 2 people and make more money off of your home, so off of your household. So you got to break out of this mindset that they've brainwashed us with. And remember that in 1917, when the Bolsheviks took over in Russia, the first thing they did was take the children out of the home and put them in communist schools because they didn't trust the families to raise good communists. And so that's what they did. That's what they're doing right here. Socialist, Marxism, all this kind of stuff. And I feel for the educators who have a great heart for educating children, and they're getting duped and enslaved by the system as well. The whole thing, to Graham's point, needs to be burned to the ground.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, and I see a couple of people say, I'm not leaving my family, sorry. Well, respectfully, I disagree with your understanding of what your family is. Your family ain't your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister. That's not your family. If you're married with children, that's your family. Everybody else is extended family. Your obligation, and this is biblical, by the way. You can disagree if you want, but go read the Bible. Your obligation is to your wife and your children. That is your family. Leave and cleave, quite literally. Your mama, your daddy, you're a 30, 40-something-year-old adult. Sack up and do what you need to do for your family. And this is just a massive misunderstanding of the biblical structure of which families are supposed to be designed. Now, if your extended family is a part of your life, that is fantastic, but it's an extra. You need to take care of your family. Your family is your wife, your husband, if you're a girl, and your children. That's it. That's your family. That is your family. Everybody else is extended family, and they got to make their decisions for their family. You got to make a decision for your family. Stop the crap. Stop the excuses, because that's all that is.
Be loaded up like the Beverly Hillbillies. Does Trump have? We have that clip of Trump talking about it.
We do. I think it's a clip from his campaign, but we can still play it. This is him talking about it. Back before he was actually elected, if I'm not mistaken.
And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children because they'll do a much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation, and yet we're absolutely at the bottom. We're one of the worst. So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place, and you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much.
Promises made, promises kept.
I agree with it 100%. But we got to move on. I think it's great. If you think it's great, comment yes or no in the chat right now. But we got to keep moving. All right. This is President Trump just announced yesterday that he is now demanding that Ukraine give its rare earth minerals to the United States as a payment for all the aid, saying, quote, so we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things. Let's play this clip. If you agree with this, let's get that American flag going in the chat. Here we go.
Real quick, look, the clip's 47 seconds long. Just saying.
Yeah, I love it.
We're telling Ukraine they have very valuable rare earth. We want what we put up to go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. We're handing them money hand over fist. We're giving them equipment. European is not keeping up with us. They should equalize. And look, we have an ocean in between. They don't. It's more important for them than it is for us. But they're way below us in terms of money. And they should be paying at least equal. They should really be paying much more than us. But let's say equal to us. And they're billions and billions of dollars below. So we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things.
Yes, get in there and take all their vibranium, all of it.
Here's the
and
thing.
other things.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the most common sense thing I've ever heard. Hey, we'll give you all these weapons, sure, but you're sending us all these rare earth minerals so we can make our money back. You know what I mean? Like this is the most common sense stuff. When's the last time that you, the American people, go to a bank and it's like, I need $1 million. Why are you going to pay us back? I'm not. Oh, okay, here's $1 million. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the most common sense stuff across the board. And I just think that it is such a relief to have a president that works for the American people, not for other countries that pay millions of dollars to his family and or corrupt bureaucrats, swamp creatures in D.C. It is such a breath of fresh air again, because you got a businessman in the White House, like across the board. And so I think this is great. I think that this is going to, you want the war in Ukraine to stop? This, hey, we need our money back, is going to help it stop pretty quick.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about it is you got to remember, I mean, World War II, when we loaned other countries money to be in war, they paid us back.
Yeah.
They paid us back. That's the whole deal. And you have these people, if you read the comments, and people are basically, you just summarize it by saying Trump's one big meanie. Yeah. Okay, then be a big meanie.
Good.
You know, I mean, who are these people to sit there and say, oh, we're just supposed to give all of our resources away with nothing in return?
You know, to be a fly on the wall in Zelensky's office when he's having those conversations with Trump, because obviously Trump is like, you need to pay us back, dude. And in Zelensky's mind, he's like, I just laundered all that money for Biden. And now I'm out all that money, but now I got to pay it back because I was helping Biden do all the laundering.
Dude, they don't have
And
conversations.
then he'll start singing like a canary after
Dude, they
that.
don't have those conversations, Tony. It's just like all of us when we're late on a payment and we see that phone ring and we see that caller ID. Nope.
That's right. That's right.
Nope.
All
That's
right,
never
next,
happened to me,
let's
Todd. I
go.
don't know what you're talking about.
Now let's talk about
Canada.
Trump. Canada.
All right. So this comes as a question. Now, this was admittedly, context is important. This was right before Canada bent the knee. But they pretty much asked Trump, hey, how serious are you about this Canada becoming the 51st state? And this was Trump's response. Here we go.
Look, what I'd like to see Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy. We have more energy than they do. We don't need them for energy. So I say, why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them.
Dude, I'm telling you, this has more weight to it than people think. And
It's a
even
fair
though
question. It's a
even
fair
though
argument.
Canada bent the knee for 30 days, so we're going to talk about it here in a minute, but it's only a 30-day pause, and then the tariffs are going to go right back on. Like Trump, we're going to let's play sissy girl pants. Let's get SSGP in the chat just to remind you what this loser had to say. Oh, this is an hour or a minute 43. Feels like an hour and 43 minutes. Just play a little bit. Just to listen to this feminine. Just ugh.
From the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of the Korean Peninsula, from the fields of Flanders to the streets of Kandahar, we have fought and died alongside you. During your darkest hours, during the Iranian hostage crisis, those 444 days we worked around the clock from our embassy to get your innocent compatriots home. During the summer of 2005, when Hurricane Katrina ravaged your great city of New Orleans, or mere weeks ago, when we sent water bombers to tackle the wildfires in California. During the day the world stood still, September 11th, 2001, when we provided refuge to stranded passengers and planes, we were always there, standing with you, grieving with
Pause.
you.
So
The American
people will
people.
listen to this, and this is nothing more than like an emotional play. No one's negating that Canada has helped us, but Canada helps us because we allow the ability for them to be a country. And they did the totals over the whole 20-plus year war that was the war on terror. Canada spent $20 billion total. Okay, we're giving them $200 billion a year for So we're giving every year 10x what they spent for the entirety of the war on terror to help us. Okay, so all this is virtue signaling. All of it's this Canada, please, no, don't be mean, blah blah blah. Shut up. This is a business, dude.
And not only that, Graham, like we could have done anything he listed. We could have done that without your help.
Yeah.
We could have handled all that without your help and kept the money. And also, when you allow 300,000 fentanyl deaths from people that are coming across your border, that's not standing with America.
Correct. Exactly.
And
All
can I
right.
just ask, Graham, like me and you both have like multiple deployments between us, but I mean, I hung out with Australians, with Brits. I mean,
I saw two. I already know where you're going. I met two.
see
I met two Canadians.
I didn't see
Canadians. The entire time. Two. I met two. This is before they bent the knee. This was Canada really sticking it to us Americans by removing American liquor from the shelves. You know, I mean, boy,
Look how
you want to talk
stupid these
about
people.
you want to talk about a painful reminder of what a mistake Trump made.
But how stupid are you? You're taking it off the shelves. You've already paid for it,
You
moron.
already bought it.
Like, you already paid for it.
I know.
If the American companies were doing that, it would take us all of 2 seconds to take off the Canadian bacon and the
Yeah.
syrup off
But
the
that's
shelf.
why.
Okay,
but
we're
that's
done.
why people need to understand what a virtue signal is. This is you hit the nail on the head. They already paid
bought it.
for it. So you're just hurting yourselves more by doing this. You might as well sell it. I'd
you know
sell
what?
it at a higher price because hey, it's
Exactly.
limited inventory. You know,
For
like
real.
I would love to say that I'm going to go downstairs and take the Canadian bacon out of my refrigerator that I've already paid for and toss that cuck ham in the trash. But I don't have any. You know why? Because I don't eat that garbage.
it'd be like that scene with Ron Swanson. Can I try it, please? And I'd pick it up, throw it in the trash, like another, please, and I'd throw it in the trash. Anyway, yeah, it's like, sir, I don't think I could give you any more. All right, so here we go. At the end of the day, if you knew that Justin Trudeau was going to bend the knee, I want some American flags blowing up the chat right now, because just as expected, ironically, Mexico caved first, and we'll get into what Mexico did in a minute. But for everybody's attention was on Canada. Everybody was on Canada. Anyway, so here we go. Justin Trudeau put this on X. I just had a good call with President Trump. Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan. Okay, so I want to put context into this. So there's a lot of stupid people, Crasterton brothers, and others that are like, oh, Trump got rolled because he paused the tariffs and Canada pulled a 180 on him because they had already agreed to do everything they said. I want to put focus on what he says here. Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan. Do you know what that means? That means that even though Canada said, oh, okay, yeah, we'll put $1.3 billion towards the border, they didn't do it. Which is why he wrote, Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan. Because Canada, again, has not been keeping up their end of the bargain. So these morons on the left that are telling you, oh, Trump got hosed because everything Canada said they're going to do, they already said that they were going to do it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Here you go. Brian Crasterton. Fact. What a freaking moron. Canada announced the $1.3 billion border plan months ago. We know, you brainless idiot. The point is, they didn't do it. And just like, never mind, I'm not going to say it. Hold it back.
Graham.
It's PG-13 show.
Graham, this is like saying Joe Biden had a border czar too.
Yeah,
mean,
Joe Biden had a
exactly.
border czar. All right. Reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology, and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners, and increased resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. Nearly 10,000 frontline personnel are and will be working on protecting the border. In addition, Canada is making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar. We will list cartels as terrorists, ensure 24/7 eyes on the border, launch a Canada-U.S. Joint Strike Force to combat organized crime, fentanyl, and money laundering. I have also signed a new intelligence directive on organized crime and fentanyl, and we will be backing it with $200 million. Proposed tariffs will be paused for 30 days while we work together. This is a gigantic win for Donald Trump. Royce, I know that this is going to be hard. Can you go to Jack Posovic's page and find when he went to Canada border and show you what the Canadian border looks like? And while you look at that, Chad, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, this is what did we make the call yesterday? Because I mean, we were speculating maybe it takes till the end of the month, till Friday.
I said 30
till
days
Tuesday.
max, but it could end by Monday. That
Right.
was what I said exactly.
But
Todd
what
said
you
a week,
said-
I think.
But
said by
what you
Friday.
said yesterday, Graham, what you said yesterday was prophetic, and I knew as soon as you said it that you nailed it. That basically the 3 o'clock phone call was Trump saying, "You got till 3 o'clock."
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
exactly what happened. You were 100% right on that.
I want to go ahead, Tony.
I'm just gonna say something tells me that when Crasterton or whatever his name is said he had implemented this plan 3 months ago, that was when Biden was in office. Something tells me now that Trump's in office, it's going to get done a lot faster with the plan on the border.
But
Well,
everybody
actually-
focuses. Go ahead, Todd. Go
No,
ahead. Jim.
I was going to say, actually, to be fair, the 1.3 billion was initially mentioned by Trudeau in like November 18th, which again, the election was November 5th, and then again in December. So Trump had been elected, even though he had not been placed in office yet. So this was something that he knew the pressure was coming, but the list of things being done now didn't exist in the deal when Biden was in office.
And here's why I want to show this video. Jack does a great job here. So much emphasis is put on the Mexico border that we forget how just flabbergasting the border is in Canada. Play this video. This is the border. This is a part of the border in Canada. You cannot make this up. This is how much Canada put the middle finger to America and the Biden administration for so long. Play this clip. You won't believe it. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Play it.
So this library behind me right here actually straddles the border between the United States and Canada. This behind me is Canada. Here you can see a sign. It says, "Do not enter." That is
Okay.
the border for the entire northern part of Vermont here, between the United States
Pause.
and Canada.
Pause it.
I could invade Canada with snowballs.
Look at that. That is what Canada has been doing for a border. And we wonder why fentanyl is coming across the thing. We wonder why illegal immigrants are coming across the way. Don't get fooled by these leftist morons that are trying to talk to you. Canada has been flipping the middle finger to America for decades.
Dude,
and,
I had
and,
no
and
idea.
We're done. That's the
It's
border.
a 1x3 inch
Wow.
sign.
Yeah,
For real.
that's
What
it.
is
And
that
just-
going to do?
It
Now, I
doesn't
will
even
t-
say
it
you'll be
deters me.
prosecuted. It doesn't say you'll be shot on sight. It doesn't say anything.
Don't
It just
do
says
it.
do not enter. Don't enter if you have glasses enough to read it, like across the board. Like this is the reality of what was going on there. I
sign-
wanted everybody to see
if
it.
I was just traveling and I saw this as a joke, I'd jump the border for fun. Be like, oh look, I'm in
Dude,
Canada.
that little sign to stop
I'm in Canada.
immigrants.
I'm in Vermont. I'm in Canada. I'm in Vermont.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
little sign to
Because-
stop immigrants is smaller than a "Beware of Dog" sign on my fence, dude. Are you kidding me? I mean, that
I will say it's going to deter me because I'm not walking through the snow. That ain't happening.
Yeah, the
That-
snow.
like-
The snow is their border. But my fear, though, and here's where Trump. Here's what we're going to see. Trump is going to have to keep up the pressure because we know that Justin Trudeau takes forever to do anything. Canada's government takes forever to do anything. Just ask anybody that's sitting around waiting on health care. They take him 6 years to implement this deal. So he's going to have to keep the pressure up on this deal. Just because Trudeau said it, we know he's a snake, dude. So we're not going to trust what he's.
Well, that's
saying
why
until it's
Trump's
being implemented.
brilliant. He's like, all right, it's paused for 30 days.
Yeah.
You got 30 days
Exactly.
to show me you're doing something, or it will be 51% because you're going to be the 51st state. I think that all this stuff ends. I think that this is a year-long deal because Canada's fixing to have an election and all this other stuff. We already know Justin Trudeau's not going to be in there. I think all this stuff ends with Canada being a territory of America. I don't think it's
Good
going to be a
chance.
state. I think all this ends with Canada being a U.S. territory, and I just do. I think Greenland. I think we're going to buy Greenland. I really do. I all signs point to it's up to the people of Greenland, and we could pay them $1 million each, and it would be less than what Elon paid for Twitter. And so, to buy Greenland, I think we're going to buy Greenland. I think that we're going to have Canada as a territory. That's what I think.
Well,
I have a
I'm
question.
going to Greenland because I want that money.
I have a question. I see that Canada sucks at protecting the border, but why didn't we do anything to protect our side of the border in Vermont? Why didn't we throw up a fence on our side of here, just like we did with
Kamala
Mexico?
said don't.
That is, do not come.
Do not come.
Do not come.
I'm
It's
gonna
the greatest. That's the greatest. It's the greatest video ever. All right. Next is what do we got here? Is
Mexico.
it more of a breakdown of
a little
Mexico?
Mexico.
So Mexico bends the knee as well, saying, "quote This is the president of Mexico, Claudia Pardo." All right. We had a good conversation with President
Shine
Trump
bomb.
Yeah, I just left that alone. We had a good conversation with President Trump with great respect for our relationship and sovereignty. We reached a series of agreements. 1, Mexico will immediately reinforce the northern border. You notice how she uses the words reinforce. So in other words, they ain't been enforcing it. Yeah, with 10,000 members of the National Guard to prevent drug trafficking from Mexico to the United States, particularly fentanyl. Again, you would think that this would have been a common sense deal. Number 2, the United States is committed to prevent the trafficking of high-powered weapons to Mexico. Number 3, our teams will begin working today on 2 fronts, security and trade. 4, that has to be a typo. 4, they are pausing tariffs for 1 month from now. In other words, he's giving Mexico the same crap. Hey, man, handle your... God forbid we expect a sovereign country to be able to handle your own law enforcement. God forbid. We are such bullies to expect a quote-unquote sovereign land to be able to have their own law enforcement to keep the worst of your degenerate monsters from coming over to our side. We're just holding these people accountable. 30-day lift. You got 30 days. And then just boom, here you go. Just in, Mexico has caught and arrested El Enrique, leader of, Tony, I know that you know who this is, but you can't tell us, and I understand. And so...
I can not confirm nor deny that I know that.
Yeah, but almost the same time that this happens, they capture El Enrique. And he's a member of what? Can you go back to the top?
I think he is the leader.
Part of the cartel.
I think he is the leader.
Leader of Cartel
del Noreste.
Del Noreste.
Tony, what does that say? Cartel del
Noreste.
Noreste.
What does it mean? So what's that mean?
These are bad dudes.
Cartel of the North.
Oh, Cartel of the North. So he's the leader of the North of the cartels, and he doesn't believe in shoes.
We
Bad
captured
dudes,
their
man.
leader.
They took
Can't
his
run
shoes.
away.
Can I
And we
just
got
ask
his
a
shoes. They
question
were Trump
here
shoes. We didn't
about
like that.
about what the Mexican president responded with? Number 1, I didn't know Mexico had 10,000 soldiers. Number 2 is, who are they going to be loyal to? Because, I mean, you've got cartels that have their fingerprints on everything. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I want 10,000 Mexican army on the border because I don't know who they belong to.
Right. And we talked about it on my show yesterday about how the cartel controls everything in Mexico. I mean, every politician, every mayor, I mean, you name it, they've all been placed by the cartels. So obviously you can't trust them because these people, I mean, we got U.S. law enforcement officers that are paid by the cartels.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody's seen the movie, right? I mean, there's corruption everywhere, but certainly these troops
I mean,
are cartel.
Tony's on our show right now.
Yeah,
Tony.
I will say
I have been placed here.
Shout out to Pete Hegseth. The fact that the cartels have now been deemed terrorist organizations. Now you've got U.S. aircraft flying into Mexico airspace. Like basically, hey, you see them, you shoot them. Like right. The end. Like they are terrorists. Go in there, boys, and handle your business. That's a whole. We are in a whole different stratosphere of where we've been ever to this point. The U.S. military is now on site at the border and have been instructed. Their rules of engagement from the Secretary of Defense and backed by POTUS is you treat them like terrorists. Shoot to kill, do whatever you got to do in this now. President Trump demanded 100% operational control of the border, and Hegseth is delivering. All options are on the table to kill these dudes if necessary. That is a whole different ball game, folks. It ain't just deporting. It's if you try to cross this border and/or you show any aggression to us, you won't even be able to go back to Mexico because you will be dead.
Yeah, and I talked about on my show with the El Ricky deal. I said this was probably a photo op. I mean, this whole deal, for that, the timing of that, they knew where he was all along.
Yep.
And then
of course.
The cartel said, we're going to put you in handcuffs. We're going to do this thing.
And he made
show
bail
us.
yesterday, by the way. He made bail within 10 minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's
Gone.
back out.
It is scary because just like you were mentioning.
Well, that's
Chad, I
fine.
think
That's
the
Mexico's
movie,
problem. That's Mexico's problem. Let them deal with their own crap. Get them away from the border. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but like what Chad was saying, it is scary because they are very well funded. They are very well organized. The movie Sicario with Benicio del Toro. I mean, you can see that, you know, in that scene when they go into Mexico to get that guy out, the whatever they were, the police, I think, turned on them because they were hired by the cartel or whatnot. And it's super scary because you can't trust them. I mean, they have 10,000 troops at the border, but which ones? I mean, half of them could be on the cartel's payroll. So they turn on you and start firing at our troops.
Well, and that's the scary part of it, is at what point does it become like a legit war, you know, between us and the Mexican cartel?
Like we talked about the other day, it would be the quickest war in the history of ever, because we are defending a border of which we have ultimate military superpower authority over them, and you literally have them at a choke point. It would be the shortest war ever. If they legit declared war on the southern border, dude, I mean, it is the ultimate military like superpower to create a bottleneck choke point and then just mow people down. Like the military, the U.S. military wouldn't even have to move. They just sit there and be like, all right,
Just
walk
set
up
the
here if you want
artillery
to, you know,
up right
and
here,
just,
and let's
dude, that would be the easiest war to ever fight. I'm just being honest, man. I mean, you know, we are not invading Mexico. We are defending our border. And that would be the easiest.
Reality is we've been invaded by the Mexican border via the Mexican border for 4 years. So we have every right to say absolutely not. And if they want to engage further, then they're not going to see good results on our end, because we've received it. In the same way we were talking about Canada, we've been giving them. This is not punishment to them, like Trudeau was saying. We've been giving and giving and giving more than they ever have, and they've just been sending people across the border. We've protected Mexico, we've protected Canada, and they've just been letting people into the border, invading the U.S., and it's time to stop it. And that's all that we're doing. We're not trying to start war. We're not trying to cause drama or create chaos. We're trying to stop the invasion of the U.S. And that's telling the people that we've been protecting, no.
There are so many things that people don't even realize what we could do. Just like, for instance, Texas has had a water treaty with Mexico for 125 years. Mexico's never held up their end of the deal. They're supposed to release certain amounts of rainwater into the Rio Grande. If all the water that's supposed to be in the Rio Grande River was in it, then it could actually be a navigable transportation river for goods, and nobody would be able to cross that river. But Mexico actually withholds the water to keep that thing so that you can cross it. They're in violation of so many different treaties. It's ridiculous, not to mention the invasion stuff. So again, you're right, Graham. I mean, it would be over. I mean, like quick on the whole deal.
Dude,
it's
a
FAFO type
bottleneck
situation.
A bottleneck is the one thing they teach you in military on ground operations, that, you know, the death funnel, right? Like you do not want to get into that situation. And we would own, through superior forces, superior numbers, through superior weaponry, superior firepower, we would own the line of which we're defending to create the bottleneck however we see and deem fit to do so. They wouldn't be able to do a single thing.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder why that hasn't been implemented, you know, before, because obviously they're very well funded, they're very well connected, and if they own politicians in the U.S., that might be a reason why they haven't done what you're.
They haven't done it before because the military-industrial complex has been involved. That's why. That's why they hadn't done it before, because there's money to be made in the drug trafficking or the drug smuggling ring. There's money to be made in the child sex trafficking ring for these evil, horrible, demonic people that are within our country. And I think that we've got the right people in place, and we've got more coming across the way.
Well, before we deal with Mexico, we have to worry about New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, because he is what we should all be afraid of. He said that he's hosting a migrant in his home to avoid deportations, and he said, ICE, do your thing. Phil Murphy basically threw down the gauntlet on this deal.
He's got to have somebody mow his yard and clean the pool.
He says he's got an illegal that lives in his, this is the governor of New Jersey.
I can't take out my own trash. Like, what? Like, no. What are you talking about?
He's got an illegal living over his garage, and he says nobody's going to come get him.
AOC did a live stream yesterday actively instructing illegal aliens how to avoid ICE. Like, how is she not expelled from Congress on the very basis of conspiracy against foreign enemies, cooperating with foreign enemies of the state? How is she allowed to still walk the walls of Congress across the board? She literally, she's giving instructions on illegal criminals how to avoid ICE. I don't understand it at all.
I think Phil Murphy's illegal is mowing Royce's grass right now. Is that what we hear?
Actually, my grass is not being mowed.
It might be like all the people dying here in D.C., like all the aimlesses and stuff
So
going
like
on.
somebody's running
It's not me this time.
It's
It
not
sounds
in
like
my
somebody's
house.
running the vacuum back there.
Yeah.
Oh
All
my
right,
gosh.
let's keep going. I don't really want to hear this dude. Like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
a moron. I don't
Yeah,
believe
he's
this
beta
for 1
energy.
second.
Carolyn Levitt, USA.
Yeah, here we go. Last but not least, all the leftists are freaking out about the U.S. aid. Oh no, U.S. aid, we're wasting. Oh, we can't get rid of it. But then Caroline Levitt comes out and does her thing. It just shows just a small, a little bit of info of the wasteful tax dollars. Again, remember, this is not money that the government just has, that they're deciding just to get. No, you're paying for this stuff. Play it.
You're watching live.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
$42,000 for a comic book? Wow.
In U.S. aid. U.S. aid.
Wow.
So this is money that's supposed to be the U.S. wants to like aid other countries in helping
More
them.
like AIDS.
Okay,
Yeah.
$2.5 million to promote DEI in Serbia. Yeah, $32,000. Now I know $32,000. You know, hey, it may not seem like a lot, but it's 32 grand for a trans comic book in Peru. First of all, why do you need $32,000 to make a comic book? Period. Like, you know what I mean?
Can we be honest, though? Wasn't none of this money spent to do any of that? That's what it was labeled as, and it went to something completely different. Like, they didn't pay $32,000 for a comic book. They paid $32,000 to some jackass and then labeled it as a transgender comic book.
That's
what
fine,
happened.
but the point is the people that are freaking out that we just killed U.S. aid, the people that are lashing out against this, they're the people that are making money from this. That's why they're freaking out. We are, quote unquote, ruining them. We're ruining their lives. And on purpose. We're doing it on purpose because these corrupt politicians that have allowed this for so long, their days are over, man. It's done. It's done.
And a perfect example of that, Graham, is what Chuck Schumer said yesterday about if Doge gets its way to scrutinize the waste in U.S. aid, then they're going to do it with other agencies and programs as well.
Yeah, let's listen to what he says. Like a particular one, for sure.
We also know this is just the beginning. If Doge attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or the IRS or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or
Bing,
maybe our
bing, bing,
national
bing,
security
bing. There it
agencies.
is, ladies and gentlemen. The big thing that they're worried about the most. The people that are making the money off of your tax dollars, they are terrified of the IRS being shut down. Because remember what I've said for years now. If 3% of America stopped paying taxes, the government, as it currently has been run, it would screech to a halt because they don't know how to bring in revenue outside of taxing the ever-living balls out of the American people. They don't know. They have no idea how to bring in revenue outside of that.
All the politicians that are freaking out with the DEI and shutting down the IRS, they have never had a hard day's work in their lives. They're not blue-collar workers. They're people who have been entrenched in all politics for their whole lives. and they have no idea what an 18 pack of eggs costs at the store. So they're just making money off of all the taxpayers, like us here. I mean, we're paying up the yin yang for insurance premiums and gas and everything that the Biden administration left behind. And all these people are just freaking out because we're about to cut all that off and lower our taxes, hopefully. So they're
Hey man, if you think the federal income tax should be abolished, give us a yes in the comment section. Anybody that says no, I question your sanity at this point. But give us a yes if you want to see the federal income tax abolished. I think. I can't promise that it's going to be abolished, but I think at minimum we're moving to a flat tax of 10% across the board. That's what I think, at minimum.
And by all means, go after the Postal Service because, good Lord, they need help.
Oh, my gosh.
They're always late.
Absolutely, man.
Worst,
like,
dude.
why do you think UPS and FedEx is where people go to all the time now to like get their crap?
Do you want Postal Service, FedEx? Yeah, I'll take FedEx. I'll pay the extra money to go to FedEx.
FedEx. So
FedEx
I can,
200.
I can get it tomorrow, like within like 18 hours. FedEx. That's what I want to do. Anyway, I think that's the show, right? Isn't that the show?
That's the show, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for the day. Make sure to hit that like button wherever you're watching, whether it's Facebook, X, here on Rumble, YouTube. Make sure to hit the like button and make sure to hit that share button right now. Facebook, I'm talking to you. Also, leave us a comment in the comment section. Facebook, I want to see 1,000 comments on this live feed right now. Rumble, you're awesome as always. X, you're awesome as always, doing your thing. All right, Chad, you mind praying us out today, and then we'll answer super questions. I don't think we have a lot, but we'll answer them.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for what you're doing in our lives, and we thank you for what you're doing in our country. We pray for guidance over those that you have placed in power. We pray that you would give them revelational wisdom, that, Father, you would be exalted as the King of our lives, and Christ Jesus would be our Lord. We pray that you will direct our steps and lead us into the ways of your righteousness. And, Father, we want to seek that first today. Let your kingdom reign in us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, let's do super questions, and we're out of here today.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Getting there. All right, first super chat.
Ta-da.
Boom.
Micah Panada. Just sitting at my desk making cold calls, but I have to say it feels good to look up at my command board and see a president and a SecDef I can respect. Semper Fi. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, Micah Panada. Also, love the song, Graham. Hit a new deadlift personal record of 405 with it. Hey.
Awesome.
There you go.
Glad.
I miss deadlifting. Impulio 7, make insane asylums great again. 100%. Can't disagree with that statement at all.
Yep, love it.
Valerie 435. Red lipstick movement is women's suffrage movement from the early 1900s. It was a symbol of rebellion for women who fought for respect and rights in a sea of men. It's them disrespect our history.
Okay.
That's why we didn't know anything about it.
So they're morons. Got it.
Here in Mystified Wanderer, here in Laredo, Texas, we've had several campuses that are close to the border on secure lockdown mode due to the cartel shootings that were going on. It was that close to us. Cartels are out of control. They're messing with their money, man. That's what it's all about. Black Iris, just throwing it out there. There are those of us here in California that, yes, are stuck here for circumstances, but we don't want that DEI. I would rather have the federal government design a program state by state. And that would be cool under the Trump administration, but what if a liberal gets elected next time? Do you really want to risk that? Just saying.
And then this one.
Jeff Wallace. Nothing important to say, just appreciate you all. Thanks for the morning. Thanks for starting the morning right.
Thank you.
Last one.
Pennsylvania EMT. Royce, where can I get one of those dark MAGA hots?
I mean, they sell them on Amazon, or you
Every
can go
day.
to what's the website, Graham?
Trump store.
Yeah,
just trumpstore.com, I guess.
If you want a Richardson hat version, you can go to, I think it's literally maga.com, I think.
That's what I was trying to think of. MAGA.com has everything. Everything MAGA there. That's it.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you guys as always. Tony, say goodbye.
Hasta mañana, everybody.
Royce.
See you guys tomorrow.
All right.
And at 2 with Chad.
There you go. Todd.
Yeah, I will be on right after Chad, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Lisa Victoria, what is your response to someone saying there are no illegals on stolen land? As a Christian, how are you okay with turning people away?
What? There are no
because there are no illegals.
illegals
America
on
stole the
stolen-
land. You're supposed to be a Christian.
Hey man, we fought for it. Like this is the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
We're not
this
on
is
stolen land. We're on conquered land.
Yeah, we're on
And-
conquered land. Like, what are you talking about? And so I think, how are you okay with Christians turning people away?
I can tell you the
Because-
way. Go ahead, Graham.
No, go ahead, Chet.
I was going to say, God's okay with turning people away. He's actually very clear on that. God has requirements. Heaven has a gate. It's also got a wall around it. Read the book of Nehemiah. The people of Jerusalem came out of exile and they built a wall around their land. That was the whole purpose of it. Again, in 70 AD, when Rome sacked Jerusalem, that's the first thing they did is they destroyed their walls. They had walls. They had rules. They had not just look at the temple. Not just everybody could walk back into the Holy of Holies, into the third chamber where the Ark of the Covenant, the Shekinah glory of God was. God is very exclusive. There are rules to entrance. I am the way, the truth, and the life.
We're not turning everyone away. We're saying that
Right.
you have to come in a certain way. That's
There's
it.
conditions
That's all
for
we're
entry.
saying.
And let us remember
Absolutely.
That's biblical.
that that land was called Canaan. So God doesn't have a problem with conquered land.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
And I think it's my turn to say goodbye, right?
Yep.
So
Say
I just
goodbye,
saw
Chad.
Mrs. AIG. She said Sarah Gonzalez on the megaphone at the rally. She said, "You're on conquered land and you're a fatty. Sarah Gonzalez is going to join me today to talk about visiting that rally. That video has now been taken down by Meta. But Sarah will join us at the top of the hour for my show, the Chad Prather Show. That's 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock Central. I love y'all. God bless.
Yep. And as always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.